Hi, I'm Dee May Series, one of the Becker County Extension Master Gardeners. Today I'd like to talk to you about what to look for when you're buying plants. Now, before you shop, of course this is probably me telling you do what I say, not what I do. Try to think ahead and make a plan. Make note of the sun amounts that you have available in your yard. Keep pictures of the things that you see that you've liked, plants or garden plans. And think about what your goal is and what your hope is for the plants that you're going to buy. Think about the colors of blooms, when you want them to bloom, the height of the plants. Buy early in the season if you can. Now, plants when they're young are generally the best, and of course we all like those fall plant sales, and that's okay. When you're buying perennials early, it gives them also a chance to be well grounded, well adapted before winter hits. Buying from reputable nurseries is the best, but of course a lot of us get plants donated or buy at plant sales, and that's probably okay too. Now, annuals versus perennials. Annuals are kind of the, let's go PG here, the one-night stands of the plant world. They're only here for the flash and for the short term, so it's less critical to look at what they need in the long term. Annuals generally put all their energy into blooming, and so they bloom most of the season long. So if all season long color is what you're looking for, you want to look at annuals. Now, these petunias that I have in a container, they are not hardy to our zone, and they still talk about they need full sun and they need moderate watering. So you still have to pay some attention to their needs. Perennials are the long-term relationships of the plant world. They're going to be here for the long haul in general, and so it's critical to look at where you're going to plant them because they have to live there for a long time. When you're buying a plant, pay attention to the light requirements. The tags will say if they need full sun, or if they can handle shade, or if they can handle part shade. So it's really important to look at the tags. And also look at the hardiness zones. We are zone 3. Sometimes, in the past, I would say, I think that big box stores, national chains have gotten better at this, but in the past I've seen a big sign that says perennials, and then I look at it and it's zone 6, which is like way in the southern United States. It would never live here. Even if a plant does not say it's hardy to zone 3, maybe it's a zone 4 hardy plant, it might be okay if you have a microclimate where it can be a little bit sheltered, and it might just be that it hasn't been tested in our zone. So you can bend the rules a little bit. You also want to look at the mature size of the plant and how far apart it needs to be from other plants. When you're looking at the plants themselves, especially perennials, what you want to look for is to look at healthy plants. If it has leaves, you want to look at the undersides, make sure there's no signs of pests or disease or anything. Biggest is not necessarily the best. You want multiple stems. These are both pretty nice looking plants. You want multiple stems, compact, and you want a lot of blooms that are just about to bloom. If you buy a plant, especially a perennial that's already in bloom, it's going to be done blooming when you get it home. And then you want to, I'm going to just take a second here. You want to look at the plant's root system, and how you do this is you tip it upside down and pop it. You don't want to pull on the plant. This plant has really nice white roots, not too many of them. It's not what we call root bound. There aren't any roots circling. So this is a nice healthy plant. Now when you get home, a thing to remember is right plant, right place. If you put a plant in the watering conditions and the light conditions that it likes, that it needs, you'll have a lot less problems with diseases and pests. I did want to talk a little bit about grass as a perennial. We have on the north side of our house a place where I could not get grass to grow, and if you have a shady area, that's what you're probably up against. And one day I decided that I wasn't going to fight that anymore, and so I planted hostas and astilbes, and they are happy as clams back there. If you get plants that are donated or from a plant sale, you might want to keep those separate from your other plants just to be sure that they are not harboring any pests. When you get your plants home, plant as soon as possible, or if you can't right away, keep them well watered. Generally, you plant a plant in the ground at the same level as it is in the pot. There are a couple of exceptions, but pretty much that's what you do. So you gently break the roots apart and spread them out. And then after that, for a little while, you want to treat them as critical care patients. Water them regularly, protect them from too much sun, and mulch them to keep moisture in the soil. So that's what to look for when you're buying plants. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for tuning in.